My name is Gavin Atuhaire Musimenta, the lead pastor, Chuka Ministries, the Refuge Church, Semuto, Uganda. If you have ever felt like that there has to be more to your life than what you are actually living, what you are actually experiencing, and sometimes you feel like with the environment you are finding yourself, from your friends, the activities you do, some of them you have done them for several years, several months, but again you find yourself like maybe there's got to be more than that. If you are that person, I guess you are on a journey of discovering who you are. What you are is a description of your experience, and who you are is a description of your origin. So my question will be, before I go any further, and it's my topic, who do you think you are? Some people, when you ask them who they are, they tell you what they do. But who you are, what you are is a description of your experience, and who you are is a description of your origin. Sometimes when people ask who you are, we often respond like, I am a pastor, I am a doctor, I am a Christian, nze ndi mulokole, I am a carpenter, I am a Catholic. But all of those primarily tell us what you are, what you do, or what group of people or denomination you belong to, and what experiences that have shaped you. They don't necessarily tell who you are. There is a difference between who you are, and that's your identity. What you are, that's your description. So who you are goes back to the origin. Think about it. When a newborn baby is born, before that child goes to school, before the child gets a job, before they become wealthy or poor, before they succeed or they fail, before they become a businessman, a doctor, a pastor, or an engineer, they are already somebody. The moment they are born, they are already somebody. And the parents give a name to that child. People don't look at the baby and say, this is a doctor, this is a pastor, this is an engineer. No, rather they say, that is someone's son, that is someone's daughter. Why? Because identity begins with relationship and origin before the achievement. The baby doesn't have to accomplish anything to have identity. And that is important because your identity exists before your achievements. So you go to school and graduate as a doctor, you are a doctor. You study engineering, you become an engineer. You become a pastor, then you are a pastor. You grow up in poverty and perhaps learn to survive a certain way. That is an experience. You grow up in a wealthy family and develop certain behaviors. That is also an experience. Politics can influence what you do. Education can influence what you know. Culture can influence how you behave. Friends can influence your decisions, and your environment can influence your style. But none of those things has the authority to redefine the person God has created you to be. This is where people become trapped. You made a mistake and suddenly you say, I am a failure. No, you experienced failure. You were rejected and then you say, I am unwanted. No, you experienced a rejection. You are poor and you say, I am nothing. No, you experienced poverty. You committed sin and then you say, I am a sinner and that's what I will ever be. No, you fall into sin. You are not a sinner. You fall into sin. Your experience may explain where you are, but it doesn't have the final authority to tell who you are. It doesn't matter what. Okay, if you find a strange piece of metal in a pile of scrap and you decide to take it and use it for something, you have decided, something you have thought in your mind, maybe it can do this particular thing. Maybe you choose to use it to break things and it works and you succeed breaking things because you have used that piece of metal to break things. You have put it to use. And you might then say that this thing or this metal was made to break things. But you don't actually know that. The fact that something works for a particular purpose doesn't mean it was created to do that purpose. If you want to know what something was designed to do, what do? You don't ask the person who found it. No, you ask the maker. Did you get that? That's why if you want to know who you are, we have to go back to the one who created us. In Genesis 1 verses 27, it says, "So God created man in his own image." Before you were a pastor, before you were a doctor, engineer, before you were poor, wealthy, before you belonged to any political party, before you joined that football team, you were God's creation, made in his image. That's where identity begins. After Adam and Eve sinned, something happened to humanity. Sin simply introduced bad behavior. It damaged humanity's understanding of identity and relationship with God. Adam went from walking confidently with God to hiding from God. Genesis 3:10, Adam said, "I was afraid because I was naked and hid myself." So fear entered, shame entered, blame entered, separation entered, and humanity began living from a distorted understanding of its self. Instead of "I belong to God," we began asking, "What can I become?" And then humanity began competing. Who is greater? Who is more educated? Who has more money? Who is more beautiful, more handsome, more powerful? Who has the right denomination, the right religion? What is the right political party? What is the right tribe, the right color? And suddenly we began measuring who we are with what we have. But I want you to remember, Jesus came to restore what was lost. Jesus didn't simply come to make bad people behave better. No, Jesus came to reconcile humanity back to God. He came to restore what sin had distorted. Look at the people Jesus deliberately encountered. They rejected the poor, the sick, the sinner, the tax collectors, the Samaritan, woman caught in sin, the people the religion had pushed aside. And Jesus repeatedly communicated something really powerful. Your present condition does not have the final word concerning your identity. People had labeled them according to what they were. Jesus looked deeper and saw who they were created to be. When I don't know who I am, I constantly need to prove myself. I need your approval. I need to be better than you. I need to have more than you. I need to dress better than you. I need to appear successful than you. So I need to put someone down so that I can feel elevated. I become angry when someone challenges me. I hate people because they belong to another political party. I begin to reject people because they belong to another denomination or maybe some other church. Why this is all happening? Because I have confused what I am with who I am. But when I understand my identity in God, I don't have to destroy you to prove myself. Your success, your education, your wealth, your calling doesn't diminish me. Your different denomination doesn't make you less human. Why? Because before all of these other things, we are human beings created by God. You and I. Now, knowing who you are changes what you do. What you are doesn't determine who you are, but knowing who you are can determine what you become. When I know who I am, I can pursue what I am supposed to become without losing myself. I can study and become a doctor, businessman, an engineer. I can pursue excellence. I can pursue education, but I don't have to destroy somebody else to get there. No, I don't have to pretend. I don't have to fake it. I don't have to hate the person who is ahead of me. I don't have to compromise my values just to become something, because my identity is not hanging on my achievements. No. And this is why the main reason why we the pastors, we the preachers, we preach and spread the gospel. Not simply to tell people, stop doing bad things. We can't determine what is bad, because what is bad in Uganda is tolerated in America. What is seen as evil in China, when you go to India, it is the norm, it is accepted. So it's hard to tell what is bad. When you go into that debate, we can argue and argue and argue forever, because we have different cultures. But we preach the gospel to remind people to remember who they are. And I am preaching this gospel to remind you of who you are. You are not what merely happened to you. You are not your mistakes. You are not your education. You are not your bank account. You are not your profession. You are not your political affiliation. You are not your denomination. You are not your tribe. And above all, you are not your past. We preach the gospel so that we find ourselves who we are when we go back to the Maker, to reconnect the broken, distorted relationship that sin had changed humanity to think any different from the actual image of God. When you go back to the Maker and then you ask God, God, who did you make me to be? Because the Creator knows what the creation was made for. So today I don't want to ask you what you are. I want to ask you, who do you think you are? Because if you don't know who you are, someone else will tell you who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, someone else will tell you. Your past will tell you. Your environment will tell you. Your failures will tell you. Your success will tell you. Politics will tell you. Culture will tell you. Friends will tell you. The devil himself will tell you. But God says, you are mine. You are His. And when you know whose you are, you begin to understand who you are. When you know who you are, you no longer have to desperately try to prove what you are. Did you catch that? When you know whose you are, definitely you will know who you are. And when you eventually know who you are, you no longer have to desperately try to prove what you are. Yes, when you know all that, you start living from identity instead for identity. If you have followed me this far, I am praying that you discover who you are. Don't allow anyone to tell you any different. You are a child of God. You are not your sin. You are not your mistake. You are not your past. You are not even your achievement. You are not your profession. Everything else will remain on earth. I want you to remember this as well. When we die, we are going to go back to our Father. And Jesus Himself said, I am the way, the truth, and life. No one will enter my Father's kingdom except through me. Jesus is not coming back for the doctor. Jesus is not coming back for the achievements. Jesus is coming back for His own. Last example, I want you to catch this. So I go to school where my child goes, and I see parents coming to pick their own kids. And sometimes my child is lagging behind. Sometimes she is sleeping, and sometimes I go to school when she has made a whole mess on her uniform and she's dirty. Guess what? Grab another kid just because their uniform is clean and I take them. No. I go look for my own because I know who she is. She is mine. I don't look for whosoever is around. When I go to their school, some kids scream and they say, "Hey, Daddy Essie." Well, I don't grab to take any of them because they have screamed at me. I ignore the scream and I look for mine, even if my child doesn't scream when I come. So that's the way Jesus is going to do. He's coming back for His own. Do you know who you belong to? Do you know who you are? If you know that, then the rest doesn't have to define who you are. It's okay to be successful. It's okay to go to school, to make wealth, and to do all that. That is just an experience. Those are achievements. But at the end of the day, you need to know who you are, because if you know who you are, you'll be able to use your success, your achievement, your power, your education, your experience to help other people discover who they are. I love you so much. My name is Gavin Atwaire Musimenta, Pastor Chuka Ministries, The Refuge Church, Semuto, Uganda. I love you all. Until next time, bye-bye.